FCC essentially is a secret supper called fried chicken and champagne. But essentially it was taking those two things, one that's so comforting and one that's so elegant, and kind of merging them together. And also really showing how they kind of coincide together. I mean, you know, the glass champagne is a fried chicken, I think is a great way to live life. So why don't we treat ourselves that way with great experiences? And that's what fried chicken and champagne is.
We are intentional about sharing our culture. We're not ashamed of it. You're gonna catch this Frankie Beverly and Mays, you're gonna get this fried chicken, but you're gonna have this champagne, you might have a mojito, you're gonna have China service. Like, we're gonna give you don't gotta go to DC to get this experience, right? We're gonna deliver it better than anywhere you could go in DC, right here.
Folks get to come not just for a good time before a meal, but to understand the context behind a lot of what we do and how it ties back to history. So the way that we ensure that the theme's integrated within FCC is the hands that we have at the table. I get to curate the food side of it. We have stylists, we have service directors, we have all these folks that take those elements and then we piece them together, you know, creating the show for our guests. I remember at one of our last events, you know, we were telling cultural stories. And one of the cultural stories that we spoke about was of the African-American fishermen in the Chesapeake and why we chose, you know, doing the whole rockfish dish that we did at that last event. One of the great things is, you know, the folks in the crowd could really identify with that because a lot of them grew up in this area. They grew up going to the Eastern Shore. So it was one of those types of things that kind of ties into that whole story, but also ties into the history of folks and tradition of folks also.
The biggest thing that I want our guests to take away from the experience is that they have a dining experience, the best dining experience that they've had in their entire lives. I want them to walk away with feeling that they made connections, that they made friends, that they had amazing food, and most importantly, that they had, you know, an experience of a lifetime.
We all want to go to the place where we can identify with other people, you know, folks that look like us, folks that may work in the same field, folks that may have some of the same businesses. I think one of the great things is that they're going to get to utilize food to bridge that conversation.
I hope that their takeaway is a beautiful relationship. I hope they take away a powerful connection. I hope they take away that this is more than just a date night or a girls' night out. I hope it's more than worth what they spent to come.